Tonight, we discuss the Joker movie, Chinese blizzard and butt stuff, follicle warfare, where is our water, is Scorsese sore on supers, or the new Star Trek, will it be a Picard or a Picant?
My name is Justin, and China, if you're listening, I am a shill for hire.
Hi, I'm Josh, and I may need an adult.
I'm Andy. Can I poison your water hole?
And I'm Russ. Welcome to the Balcony Time Podcast.
Hey! Woo! Well, we went and saw the Joker over the weekend.
And we didn't die.
We did not die. We didn't get shot by any cucks.
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
No incels.
No incels.
No incels, no cucks. So what do you guys think of it? I know Justin, Josh, you guys saw that like opening week?
Yeah.
Opening week, yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it very much. Everything from the costumes to the acting to the cinematography, it was great. I
Yeah.
loved it.
Did you get any chuckles during the Joker?
Several.
Yeah.
Several.
Kind of really fucked up ones.
Yeah, it made you feel uncomfortable to laugh, especially because I was one of like 5 people laughing in the theater.
Yeah.
Generally, when there's an intake of breath, that's when I'm laughing.
Yeah. When there's a good gasp, there's a laugh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm really on the fence with it.
Yeah?
On one hand, I enjoyed it, some parts of it, but the question I kept asking myself was, if they made a movie about Sandy Hook, that guy went into elementary school and shot the babies and shit, would it be all right to make a movie about that?
No,
No.
because it's real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get away with a Joker movie because it's entertainment. It's fake.
Yeah, it just made me uncomfortable because I could see certain like unhinged people getting inspiration from it.
Sure. And we discussed that when we came out of the movie. But for me, I'm always of the subscription to the belief that you have to be able to separate real life from art.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, there's always going to be people that can't. And I don't feel like the vast majority of us have to live in a world that kowtows to the crazy few, which is unfortunate. Because I mean, like you could make an argument. Yeah, someone's going to take that Joker movie to heart, go do some sort of atrocity, but someone could also watch like an episode of Leave It to Beaver and snap and go do something crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
Or listen to a public figure who maybe doesn't think before they speak, or a crazy ass newscaster like Rush Limbaugh, or
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kennedy
what's that? Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Like if you listen to Alex Jones, and
Limbaugh's way worse. By
Way
the way,
worse.
than Alex Jones.
Because it's not conspiratorial. It's he delivers it as news, you know.
right, so I mean, you could listen to one of them and be like, "Our country is under attack," and then go and shoot people, and plenty of crazy right wingers do that, all without the Joker.
Yeah.
But there's always an argument to be made about idolizing or fetishizing, these atrocious acts. But is there proof that this kind of behavior leads to like an increase of somebody? I feel like if someone's going to snap and murder people, they'll find a reason to snap and murder people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any proof that this could be inspiration, but I think the biggest worry for most people was the Aurora shooting, seeing copycats of that, because that happened during during the Dark Knight premiere.
Oh yeah. With
Aurora,
Bane,
Colorado.
No, was it Bane or was it the?
It was Joker.
Yeah,
Was it Joker or was it Bane?
I'm pretty sure it was the Dark Knight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the guy was Joker-esque for that one as well. That's the main thing.
So a lot of people were worried that there were going to be copycat shootings, and on 4chan, 8chan, the Chans, there were people saying that they were ready to do so.
Of course.
So
It's the internet. When you're anonymous, people, the vitriol that will come spilling forth from people's mouths is unfathomable.
it got to the point though where some states had the reserves come in for premieres and stuff. They'd have armed guards.
There's
in the
nothing
theaters.
wrong with taking a few extra precautions.
No, especially when somebody says that they're going to do it. Go ahead.
Take it
please.
serious.
Yeah, take it seriously. That being said, you don't shut down entertainment for those, because then you won, right? It's we let the terrorists win.
It's what the fucked up world we live in.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked.
I mean, if there was evidence, there's a lot of evidence that showed there was direct correlation between violence and entertainment to correlating to violence in real life. I think I would definitely have to reevaluate my opinion. But we've had enough incidents. Lord knows we've had enough incidents in the last decade where I feel like there would be evidence that has been happening, and it hasn't.
And
as far
they
as
just
I
have, they
know.
just don't. There is no evidence toward.
No,
You know?
you have more damage done by the echo chambers of like the incel groups or right-wing neo-Nazis or
Yeah.
even Antifa. You
Mhm.
know, when you get groups of people that can just reinforce each other with these misguided notions.
Echo chambers.
Yep.
Yeah, a circle jerk is when you get somebody that finally works up the nerve to go do something horrible.
For sure.
You know, I think even like the first big one, which was like the Columbine shooting, right? That took two friends together. You know, I doubt either one of them on their own might have done that, but as soon as you get reinforcement, some sort of positive reinforcement about what you're saying and doing, then. So maybe that is an argument against having movies like this if they view that as a positive reinforcement for what they're doing. But I don't think you watch a movie like Joker, no one's coming out of the Joker saying like, oh my God, that's an amazing thing that has happened. You know, we're not glorifying that. Everyone leaves that movie like, oh my God, like that was
really fucked.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It was really well done in the way that they showed me these fucked things, but it's not.
I even sympathized with him, you know. I feel bad for the character.
I too sympathized with him. I feel what was done great in the movie was what is the big problem that America is facing is a lack of help for people who really need it. If he could have gotten help at any one of those stages that they discussed through his childhood, even as an adult, where he's like, I need these things. Where am I going to get them from? Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't care. Bye.
Yeah,
We're closing the doors.
Yeah, they acknowledge in the movie that he wasn't going to be able to get his medication anymore.
Yeah. So, I mean, if he could have gotten help at any one of these crucial stages, it might not have turned this way.
It would have prevented everything, because I mean, at the end, he was like, what about me? You know, where is my help? Where, you know, I'm now a total outcast, and I have no recourse. All I wanted was to be normal, you know. And that is kind of the message of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, when he's sitting down, you know, no spoilers, but when he's sitting down being interviewed, that's what his issues are.
I mean, I thought it was really well done from both aspects, because it's weird to have the bad guy be the protagonist of the story, you know.
I just don't like people calling him an anti-hero, because I don't think
he's not an anti.
No.
I would agree with you that
he's a villain.
He's not. He's 100% a bad guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was never maybe again, I don't want to give anything away, but it was never about, maybe the first one was about punishment, but it's never like the first people he kills or whatever. Maybe that's about punishment.
That was more self-defense, really.
Yeah.
I mean, but like nothing about that is going after the other bad guys or the people who are just nothing about it. So it speaks of vengeance or punishment.
I would say
or judgment.
none of them are about punishment. They're literally just, well, no, that's not true. Punishment would be probably the argument for both killings, because one is retaliatory for like a self-defense punishment, but they were, they're punished for beating on somebody.
Yeah.
The other one's punished for mocking. Obviously the punishment doesn't fit the crime.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're also talking about somebody who is extremely mentally unstable and isn't getting the help they need.
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that's kind of the theme of the movie. Because really, if people just kind of come together and helped each other, a lot of the problems that were happening in Gotham could have been resolved.
Yeah.
They never discussed why there was a garbage strike, though.
No, they didn't.
So.
Also, the movie points out billionaires are assholes everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Well, I don't think you can become a billionaire. I don't think you can become rich without fucking plenty of people over. I think there are honest ways to get rich. I don't think that happens very frequently.
The lottery.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I mean, and also the difference between $1 billion and even $100 million is just, it's unfathomable, and people just don't get it. Like they're in the same category as billion. No.
Yeah, like it's pretty reasonable to say you'll make $1 million in your lifetime. A billion is 1,000 of those.
Exactly.
You'd have to live
1,000
1,000 lifetimes to make $1 billion. Crazy.
I like the concept that they explored with that Bruce Wayne's father,
Yeah.
Thomas Wayne, is not a good person.
Yeah, not the hero that he's remembered as.
Mhm.
Well, so the hero aspect, I'd have to go back and rewatch some of the more recent ones, but I feel like
He tried to save the city, right? But Thomas and Martha Wayne, they're known as philanthropists and
Sure.
generally good people. It's like it turns out if Bill and Melinda Gates beat children or something in their spare time.
I think
we're
you could argue that a lot of
everywhere.
rich
I don't know.
philanthropists. I guess it would depend on who you asked about the Waynes. People that don't really know them that
Their
well.
peers, they're great people.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The peers could say that they're great philanthropists. They were super nice, but maybe they did do shady stuff or were shitty to poor people, or I don't. A lot of stuff that wouldn't normally be discussed. And of course, Wayne or Bruce is going to have a glowing memory of them because he wasn't old enough or around long enough to have the knowledge of who they might have been as people. I think the only thing that throws my whole philosophy off is that I think Fox really liked them, and he established himself as a good character. So if he had a good opinion of them, it implies that they were probably good people, at least in that,
Or at least,
that story
tried.
Well, in the last movie, the Christopher Nolan ones, his dad was like a doctor and whatnot. He didn't even work at Wayne Enterprises. He did his work at the hospital, left the running of the business to better men, as he said, or whatever.
They established that in the
in the
Batman
first movie,
vs Superman stuff.
No, in
I never heard of him as a doctor.
The Dark Knight ones.
in the Dark Knight ones, in the first movie, when he's facing down Neeson and whatnot, they're riding on the train in the very beginning of the movie.
I don't know, because that's where I'm basing mine off. Is Fox was talking about how his dad used to run the Wayne Enterprises, like Fox used to be his second in command.
Yeah, he was running Wayne Enterprises, but he would spend most of his time at the hospital and whatnot. It's in the first movie. I'm almost
I'd
confident.
have to rewatch it.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's a fun thing to explore. That Batman always views his parents as being innocents that died, to crime. But what if they weren't all that innocent?
Mhm.
Right.
This Bruce Wayne seemed to be quite a bit older when his parents died in this movie.
Oh, fuck. I cannot believe that they still managed to put
Throw in the origin
the
story.
Batman origin into this movie.
Hey, man, at least it's not the Spider-Man origin story again.
That's
Yeah.
But they stopped doing that.
True.
That's why Marvel movies are better.
Yeah.
We don't have to watch Uncle Ben die over and over again anymore.
We did for some time.
Yeah, well,
times.
that's why Fox can't make a good Spider-Man movie.
What was the latest on this? I heard that they were going to talk again.
Oh no, they agreed to do 2 more movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
awesome.
just
Yes.
I honestly feel like it was just a ploy. Plus 70% of $1 billion is better than 100% of 5 million or however much they
right.
made on the last one they did by themselves.
Yeah. And I don't blame them. I mean, if you have the opportunity to try to shake someone down
Sure.
for a better deal,
Especially if it's Disney.
exactly. Like
got the
that's-
money.
Disney
yeah.
can afford it. Maybe they just wouldn't want to hassle with you and be like, fine.
That's
we'll-
true. Honestly, it's hard to be on the side of Fox even just a little bit, but they are against Disney, who is, I don't know, man.
That's
it's
the lesser of
weird.
two evils.
Yeah.
Weird.
Disney's kind of the evil empire, man. Just absorbing all entertainment.
Yeah,
Eventually, they'll own Big Pharma. It's going to be one of those things.
It's funny
man.
because Fox probably
Like
would have been the
Demolition
one that
Man.
wished
All
that they could
all
do
TV
that.
shows are Disney.
Yeah.
Like Demolition Man, right? In the future, where all restaurants are Taco
Yes.
Bell. All TV
Yeah.
shows are Disney.
Yeah, which is becoming more and more true.
Turn on
I'm
the
surprised-
Disney box.
Have you recently rewatched Demolition Man?
I have within the last couple of years, yeah.
Okay, because I'm surprised you recall that fact from
I-
Demolition Man.
I just,
It's one of my favorites.
it's one of my favorite movies.
I love it too.
I love it. I love it.
I just rewatched it like a month ago.
You know what's
and
weird
I
is
forgot
Rob
about
Schneider
that.
used to be in a lot of fucking Sylvester Stallone's movies. He's in
Yeah.
Demolition Man. He's in Judge Dredd, and I think there's one more where he's like the fucking sidekick guy.
Isn't that his shtick though? Is that he's just like
It must have been before he
movies?
knew
Yeah.
Adam Sandler though. Like,
Yeah, but then Rob Schneider got his own movies, and that didn't turn out.
That's
right.
where it went wrong.
Yeah.
When they stopped casting him in movies and casting him
is
the carrot.
Yeah, because one of the most memorable, like, think Waterboy, which is a hugely memorable, very beloved Happy Madison venture, right?
Love it.
You can do it. Everybody knows. Everybody
Rob
knows
Schneider.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody knows Rob Schneider. But can you tell me a single quote from like one of his other fucking
I
garbage
can, but I
movies?
don't want to because it's from Deuce.
You
Bigelow.
can do it.
The quotes from Deuce Bigelow. I don't know if they're his quotes or not.
Which one is it?
As anytime he's walking out on the street and stuff with the various wings, he's like,
that's huge, bitch.
That's huge bitch. No, that came
With the
from
really
the courtroom. That was not
Yeah.
him.
Or when he first, I do remember a line where he's like, oh, he goes in to see the big black gal. And he's like, oh, I think there's been some sort of mistake. And she says, did somebody say steak? And like, so I remember also just, it's a memorable line.
I remember a line from, I think it was The Hot Chick. You can put your weed in there, but that's not Rob Schneider. That's Adam Sandler.
Oh.
They go into a showroom where they're like, where there's this like Rasta dude selling the goods.
yeah.
So they're like, oh, this is neat. And he's like, oh, yeah. And he gives them a little, like, aside, like, this is what this is for. And this is the history behind it. And then he opens the compartment. He's like, you can also put your weed in there. And he does that for like 5 different items.
I can see that.
That was a funny little skit.
He has his own show on Netflix.
Which one?
Rob Schneider.
Oh, okay.
He has his own show. I've watched a couple episodes with Cameron. He liked it.
I'm not surprised because Rob Schneider is part of Happy Madison, and Happy Madison is now owned by Netflix.
Yeah, they
So-
sold out hard and fast to Netflix, which good for them.
Yeah, because they were making garbage movies, so sell that shit.
Apparently, part of the reason, I mean, other than the big old fat check, is that Netflix rhymes with wet chicks, and Adam Sandler thought that was funny and went for it.
Is that a real story?
That's a real story.
Okay.
They showed the trailer for his new movie coming out, and I actually think it looks pretty intriguing.
I think it looks pretty good too.
Yeah.
Oh, the bookie.
Gem,
Yeah.
Uncut Gems, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Nick immediately made a comment about how he can't ever picture Adam Sandler in a serious role. And
That
I'm
plagues
like,
me a little bit too.
I thought that that movie specifically from that trailer.
Yeah.
I bought what they were selling.
I did
So
too.
did I.
And
So
that's
did
what I was like, oh, that's an Adam Sandler movie. I think I might want to give a chance.
I think the weirdest part was hearing his natural laugh instead of his Happy Gilmore laugh. That was a little bit weird.
I don't think I noticed.
Yeah, it's just weird. It really kind of threw me off.
Hmm.
Yeah, but that was the only thing that I thought was weird. It looks like he's going to deliver a good performance.
Hopefully the plot.
Well, there was
Yeah.
he's had a few serious roles where
I've seen a serious Adam Sandler movie. I just can't remember what it was.
it's about the 9/11.
That's it.
Yeah, and it was really good. It
Yeah.
was really good. I mean, shit, Click will still make me cry. Fuck.
I didn't watch Click.
I'm not saying I didn't think he did any serious roles. This is the only time I've seen him outside of a typical Adam Sandler goofball.
Dick and fart joke comedy.
Yeah, that I was like, oh, okay. Because I think the only time I ever saw him in a movie outside of those was the dads one, where they're all dads.
Grown-ups.
Grown-ups,
Grown-ups, yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
that was
a lot of fun. It's
yeah,
fun.
it was.
It's
but
fun.
It was like it seemed so surface level, generic Hollywood bullshit.
Oh no, he because I've seen some interviews with him. He pretty much just says like, yeah, me and my friends wanted to like hang out for 6 months, see if we can make some money. Shoot some shit,
Cool.
have some fun.
Yeah, and we're all old dads now.
Yeah, and he's like, we had so much fun, we made grown-ups too, so people make mistakes. It was like, yeah, but no, it just has.
That kind of turned me off of Adam Sandler for a while. It's like, oh, this is where he's going now. I'm out.
Yeah. Well, when you have such good movies, as like
Popular,
well,
well liked.
yes, Happy
Beloved.
Gilmore,
Cult classics.
yeah, The
Stop
Waterboy,
looking at me, Swan.
yeah, great movies, super fun.
Shampoo is better.
Not
conditioner is better.
not cinema classics, right? But popular. fun
As
movies.
Scorsese would say, not
Oh,
cinema
God.
classics.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about that?
No, I don't know what you're
Oh,
talking
so
about.
Scorsese is under fire, man, because he doesn't think that the Marvel movies are cinema.
He is correct.
I understand what he's saying, so I don't disagree with him, but I think that I also fucking disagree. Like I'm of two minds here. I understand what he's saying. It is not classic cinema. This is not Dances with Wolves. This is not. They're too goddamn fun, right?
These people are barely even acting in these movies.
Robert Downey Jr. does a fucking phenomenal job in these
Yes,
movies.
he does. What do you like? Fuck you.
Just based on Robert Downey.
Yeah.
His acting is incredible.
RDJ, come on.
Yeah, go back to the first couple, before he was the Avengers Iron Man, and look at his performance. It's awesome.
As Iron Man?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
But as Tony Stark. Before the suit, the first half of the first Iron Man movie,
I
that
still
guy
don't
delivers.
feel like he's acting. I feel like he got the role of a lifetime where Robert Downey Jr. got
Gets
to
to be
play
Iron Man.
Robert Downey Jr.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
He's a rich playboy. I mean, who is Robert Downey Jr.? He is a rich playboy with an ego. I mean,
It's kind of like Danny McBride. He always is the same character.
yeah.
Because he plays Danny McBride.
Yeah.
Well, to an extreme. I don't think Danny McBride is actually like leashing. What's his face?
Michael Cera.
No.
But that's a fun image.
No. Well, you remember at the end of This Is the End?
This is the end.
Yeah.
Oh,
Channing Tatum. Yeah, where he's got him on a leash.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's
That movie.
dude.
Oh, God, does anybody else watch American Horror Story?
No.
Not anymore.
No,
No.
Okay,
I've
so
seen a couple seasons.
doesn't
like
really
the first
matter.
few.
Honestly, the last episode was about the apocalypse and the end times and stuff with the Antichrist and all this jazz. It was hilarious that several times throughout the entire season, when they'd run into people that had made pacts with the devil for success and whatnot, almost all of them offhand, side note, got a evening scheduled with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Just like, as a perk, it's like, oh yeah, and Ryan Reynolds comes by on Thursday and fucks me, and like 8 people or something referenced this fact that they get to fuck Ryan Reynolds on some random day of the week, and I'm just like, that's hilarious. That's such a great running joke
Well,
throughout the
that's
whole
good.
thing. It's just
I would tell people if Ryan Reynolds came by on Thursdays to fuck me. I mean,
yeah.
yeah. Would that be part of your clause of selling your soul to Satan?
no, but it might have been in Ryan Reynolds.
That's fair. You are a desirable piece of man meat.
Mhm.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, sorry, that was just made me.
No, that's a good aside. That's funny.
This is the end, tying in with Channing Tatum.
That's
Yeah.
But maybe Ryan Reynolds did sell his soul to the devil because I mean he is just
No. Green Lantern? Are you serious?
he was
Could have been post Green Lantern.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
maybe.
was to recover from that.
Yeah.
And Deadpool, he's like, let me do Deadpool my way. And oh my God, isn't it great?
It was the best way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved Deadpool too, but the first one has a special place in my heart, man.
Yeah.
That movie was so good.
You know
Well,
what
I
the great
mean-
thing is about Ryan Reynolds, though, I have never not liked Ryan Reynolds.
No. I agreed. If I was thinking about this earlier today, if like you could be friends with like a Hollywood person, who would you want to be friends with? And it really came down to Ryan Reynolds and Paul Rudd for me. After
Paul Rudd.
because I mean Paul Rudd he's just so delightful. How could you not want to be friends with Paul Rudd?
I started watching a Paul Rudd series on Netflix.
Yeah. Living with
We've
yourself.
all talked about it this evening. I haven't started it yet,
I
I'm 3
didn't know
episodes
about
in.
it.
I'm only like an episode and a half.
but I'm going to start it tonight when I go home. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
I have complaints about the show already, but they're not big ones, and I love Paul Rudd. I know.
Wait,
it's
hold on.
surprising.
Yeah, no, I could probably do better if you give me another chance.
Don't worry. I'll surprise you again. That I don't like something else going forward. Yeah, it's a running joke at work. Like my boss both time. Like if he ever asks me my opinion on something, and I tell him like I don't actually have an opinion on it, he's like flabbergasted, like comically exaggerated. Like what? Russ doesn't have an opinion on this thing, and I'm like, I know. I'm sorry. Give me like 10 minutes, I'll form one. But like, it's usually like, how's this new coworker doing and stuff. And honestly, if they haven't been around enough, I'm not going to form a hasty opinion.
That's fair.
If he presses me, I will fabricate one, not lie about one, but I will construct one on the current data I have,
Mhm.
with the caveat that like I only have X amount of data.
Yeah.
You know, it's insufficient for me to rely on that. But I'm an opinionated person.
You'll take the few mind grapes that you have of this person and kind of form it into something.
Shitty toilet wine.
There you go.
That's some good Pruno.
Dude, I watched How to Make Pruno. How have people, like, not more people died from drinking fucking prison wine, dude?
Why would you die?
So they use, for live cultures, they'll use poop.
Well,
You know.
after you have to watch someone take a shit and someone watches you take a shit, I feel like your will to live just wanes and you'll just do
I don't know
anything
about
to
that.
numb the
You're
pain.
living on a different level. at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know that sharing a toilet with somebody makes me want to drink Pruno.
Well, having to listen to them jerk off all the time might.
I don't.
or-
But it's just if you're just fermenting fruit, why would you need a live culture for that? Like,
Because usually they don't have fruit. Like, Pruno is oftentimes not made from any fruit. It'll be.
wow, what you
Yeah.
have to have? No,
Mm.
you have to have fruit.
So
You
they-
don't have to have
so
fruit to
it's-
make alcohol.
It's poo wine?
Nobody's making
So-
poop wine.
No, they will use poop for the real cultures, and then just leftovers from the
I don't know,
cafeteria to
dude.
rot.
Teenagers left on their own were huffing it for a while. Remember
Yeah.
that when they're crapping
No,
in bags
okay.
and huffing it?
That never
No.
actually happens.
Oh, was that just
that? Yes. That,
well, they
no.
ate Tide Pods, so I figured,
To be
Huffing
fair,
a-
at that point,
you know, I mean,
if you're
Yeah. Do you
eating a
guys
Tide Pod-
remember that? They were saying that teens were like saving their poop in mason jars and
yeah,
putting balloons over them.
Yeah,
And the gases from like the decomposition is what they'd huff, and it'd fuck them up.
yeah.
This sounds like an Onion article. That's
I mean, this got
The very first one.
newscasts, and I mean, it was
remember.
very popularized for a little while. But it turns out that never actually happened. That was just rumors at schools
Yeah.
that turned into newscasts. you
Huffing
know.
up all that air from the fart cave.
I don't understand. So they're not making toilet wine then. They're just trying to make an alcohol.
Yeah.
So they're using whatever they can to turn into an alcohol.
Yeah. And sometimes, I mean, more often than not, it's going to be fruit based because it's going to be like a fruit juice or something like that that
or
already
some
has sugar. content.
applesauce or some shit.
Right. Yeah. But there's plenty of times where they're just like, they're not serving us fruit anymore because of too many guys making Pruno. So like they've changed the menu. Let's figure something else out. So they will literally just take rotting food and make alcohols out of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a level of desperation I'm on.
Right. Like you've already you've already gone through your detox. You know what I mean? Like just leave it alone.
Well, I mean, you have to detox from the Pruno that you were getting before they cut you off from your fruit cups.
if you're there for life, I guess do whatever you want. Like drink some poop wine, but I don't get it.
Speaking of prison, do you guys know who El Chapo is?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Did you guys hear about his son being arrested in Mexico?
So one of his sons.
One of his sons.
was arrested.
And he dug a tunnel and
No. They were going to
An
extra.
army showed up of fucking like narco guys
Mhm.
and fought their way to him and freed him.
Yep.
Mm.
His brother rallied a bunch of cartel dudes.
Yeah.
And they pushed back the Mexican police and army out of a whole portion of the city after they took like 8 or 12 or something casualties and
Yeah.
more wounded. And they were like, okay, we're done. Take him. He's yours.
Yep.
And yeah, so they turned the city into a war zone for like 8 hours for this dude.
Yep.
That's crazy, man.
The world we live in.
Yeah.
We don't live in that world.
Thankfully. But
Yeah.
it's
Have you seen that show Rotten on Netflix? They went through I watched one episode where they're talking about avocados and how the show's about food-based items and the effects that they have on the world. So you'd equate something like shark fin soup and its effects on the shark populations and rich people in China buying them. So the avocados was like, how did avocados go from being a seasonal, only available seasonal, grown in California to like a global market, and what effects that had? Well, apparently a fuckload in Mexico, like it's been, and South America. They talked about Chile a lot, from everything from like water rights to whatnot. But they literally have like a town where their main source of all their income comes from exporting avocados, and so like the police force for this town just patrols constantly around all the main avocado agriculture industry, because they have to prevent them from fucking drug cartels coming in and trying to kidnap farmers and ransoming them back and stuff like that. So the police force protects one agriculture industry in these towns.
That's crazy.
I think it's crazy that.
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about people owning all the water. There's 2 rivers down in Chile
Yeah.
that are just
Fucking-
gone. They don't exist anymore because all the
fucking
water's
Nestle,
being diverted to fucking.
Dude, it's not just Nestle. It's just water privatization
Yeah,
in
that-
general.
Which is a crazy thing to think
Yeah.
about, man. Like owning the fucking water,
Yeah.
owning the sky.
Well, think of owning land. That's preposterous too. Like really?
Colorado River doesn't even make it to the ocean anymore.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, no, that gets diverted for. We were talking about this. The Modelo plant that they just opened up in Mexico. All the groundwater is gone, and the Colorado River is where that's basically where it ends. Is the Modelo plant in Mexico.
I have that fucking middle shelf beer.
Yeah. So you go into a population, like a town, the population of like 10,000, and it's all farm workers and all really self-sustainable. And then Modelo's like, this is where we're going to make our beers. We're going to hire a lot of people. We're going to create new jobs, a new market. And then they hired like 60 people and took all their water.
No farms.
Yeah. So water is now beer, and nobody can farm anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
Turns out plants don't crave beer.
weird.
It doesn't have electrolytes.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
problem.
It's not what they crave.
I want to get back to this Scorsese thing because we didn't really talk.
Yeah,
Sure,
no, we
yeah.
just started jumping around.
Well,
there
we
a
started
little bit.
arguing about whether or not Robert Downey Jr. is acting as Iron Man
Yeah.
and how good his performance is. Or not. I'll just say this: he's a fantastic Iron Man.
Yes.
Now I think he's a fantastic Iron Man because that's just who Robert Downey Jr. is, and it requires little to no effort for him to do that. Where else can we point to in the Avengers as like a milestone of some like quality acting?
I don't think they necessarily have. It's not just
Why do
acting.
you
for
hate
me.
having fun?
I don't.
Like
See,
it's
I
a
don't.
oh my
but like I
God.
get,
That's the
I
thing,
get
is-
Scorsese's saying. I don't know. I didn't hear what he said. I don't know what he says. But if he's pretty much making the argument that these aren't like quality works of cinematography, then that's fine. I agree with that. They're not. They weren't intended to be.
Yeah, and just saying, he's throwing shade. You know, throwing shade on my movies, on my stories.
It's not throwing shade. It's viewing them in the proper light. If anything, it's the reverse of shade. I like that. I just saw that Francis Ford Coppola is a.
Yeah, agrees with him. So I agree. I don't think they are landmark films as far as acting goes.
See, he nailed. Dude, it's right there. It isn't the cinema of human beings trying to convey emotional, psychological experiences to another human being, and he's correct.
I think that's follow up. Because originally the tweet was like, they're just not cinema.
Well, what does that mean?
So that I know that's open to interpretation. So initially everybody's reaction is like, well, it's in the theaters, it's cinema.
So I like those. So like it says right there, I tried, but that's not cinema. Honestly, the closest I can think of them, as well made as they are, with actors doing the best they can under the circumstances, is a theme park. That is accurate.
Well, I mean, fuck, you have fun at theme parks too, I guess. So I mean,
I think the vast majority of the actors that are in the MCU movies are not.
I think
Doing their
he's
best
just
work.
jelly because none of his movies have ever made $1 billion.
Nah, anybody can sell out and make a pop song. You just got to roll the dice and get lucky.
South Korea says so.
What?
Making a
K-pop.
pop song.
Oh,
Making a pop
Dude,
song.
K-pop is fucking huge.
I
So
know that.
Is it Korean pop? Is that what
Yeah.
K-pop means?
yeah, Korean
Okay.
pop. Yeah.
Yeah, you go me.
It's fucking huge. It's like the biggest music market there is globally now.
Never heard a single song.
Scientifically designed in a lab to be catchy
Oh,
and
yeah.
popular.
Yeah.
Gundam style.
It did-
Shit. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it did kind of start with Gangnam Style, but now like BTS is I don't know what that stands for, but I know that BTS is like the
Big,
number one
thick
listened to
sharks.
band in the world.
I saw him on SNL.
They're everywhere.
On SNL.
Yeah.
Shit.
Bring the sound.
I mean, our
Is that
Billboard
what it
charts
is?
are filled
That's-
with
that's
Korean
pretty
music.
Cool. That's a pretty cool
Babies
name.
teaching snakes.
That's a little more scary, but What
Dude,
are the snakes
bananas.
learning from the babies? To cry? To
Yes.
roll around?
To pronounce more than
Or the babies, or the snakes teaching the babies tummy time?
Speaking of snakes and babies, Crusader Kings 3, the trailer for it dropped, and it has some dude placing a snake in a crib with the air.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Here you go. Learn from this baby snake.
See,
As
it
the
was,
Koreans
it was a
do.
teaching moment. Is
That-
what
Snakes are just teaching moments.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you listened to trap music for the first time recently, like this week.
Yes, because
What the
in
fuck is that?
Discord you posted a picture of a jetpack camel that said Arabian trap music intensifies.
So
It was-
trap music. It lures you in, and
No,
then you're
so
stuck. Or
this is the picture that he sent me, which is funny, by the way.
oh shit.
So back and forth, joke about prudish religious clothing attire.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, so I see at the bottom Arabian trap music intensifies, and I'm like, what the fuck is Arabian trap music? And I googled it, and it's techno.
Oh.
It's,
It's
as a-
EDM with like
So
harder
is-
beats, I
is
guess.
techno different from EDM?
No, EDM is techno.
Is
yes.
different
So
from like trap. Is different from like
techno is
house
probably the
diff-
largest of the genres, and EDM and trap and all that shit exist within it. Just like rock
Okay.
music, hard rock
As
music,
an old
and
man.
classic rock.
Who does not care about the subgenres of such musics? Everything falls under techno.
Okay.
Well,
Good.
I'll tell you, it's all that goddamn
That's-
techno.
That's kind of how I feel, but then people look at me like I'm an idiot when I say it. So
It's like I think techno gets as complicated and nuanced to a ludicrous degree like metal does.
Yeah.
So like you can have Austrian folk death
Speed
apocalypse
metal.
speed metal.
Mm.
And so I think like stuff like trap, because like I let them read the definition of what trap music is and see if
Is it an acronym? Because that would make
no,
it fun.
It's like a reference to trap houses.
What the fuck's a trap house? Now that sounds rapey.
It's a
Or a-
it's a drug house.
Oh,
Like a
Oh,
get
okay.
people to come in and buy
Okay.
drugs or something.
that's
Yes,
less rapey. Like you're trapped in the house. Try to find a way out.
I think I remember something about like
That's how horror movies go.
there. So I think that's the one I read.
Trap music first emerged coming primarily from the South, a genre filled with a hard attitude that you can feel in the sound of the brass, triangle, triplet hi-hats, loud kicks, snappy snares, and low-end 808 bass samples that are used when composing tracks.
That's not the one I read.
Okay.
The one I read had some sort of reference to gritty throat lyrics mixed in, and
Yeah, and I think
Trap
trap music
houses
is supposed to have
Gritty
like
throat
voice
lyrics,
samples.
like some DMX kind of shit. Like
yes,
you know.
I believe so.
Okay,
But
shit.
I-
All right.
YouTube didn't help because like I listened to like 5-6 different greatest compilations from like all the way from like 2016 all the way to 2019 of Arabian trap music, and it just all sounds like techno.
Okay.
I don't have the discerning ear to pick out the subgenres.
No,
of-
neither do I. Apparently my coworker does because he's like listing like what genre we're listening to now, because this is a conversation we've had a few times, and he's like, it's just nuanced genres, man. Like, you know. So he's like, so this would be considered house. I'm like, well, what makes house?
Why?
And he will throw out the definitions right there, and I'm like, okay. So he's like, so you hear the sample here? That's why we're gonna call this house, because that is the overarching theme of this song. I'm like, okay.
I get it.
And he seems to know what the fuck he's talking about, so I'm just gonna give it to him.
it's also the kind of thing he could be bullshitting, and I don't care enough to
Absolutely,
fact check him on,
absolutely. So as far as I'm concerned, he is an authority on techno.
I mean, this could be so grognardy that it just correlates to us discussing what makes a action adventure game, like
True.
for like podcast number
Yeah,
one.
absolutely.
So, some old person's just like, they're all video games. I'm like,
well, you know, they are. Oh
you're
my
not
God.
wrong.
It's
But
is
this
that a
one, you can put a snake in the crib with a baby.
Andrew? Is that a Zelda?
Zelda.
You guys ready to take a break?
Yeah, we'll take a break.
I think it's
Yeah.
about that time. All right, let's
Agreed.
do it.
I want to hear from you.
Okie dokie. Actually, I think it's Andrew this week.
Oh, we're going to hear from Andrew.
I want to hear from Andrew.
Okay.
If you're hearing this, that means you've taken some time out of your day to listen to the Balcony Time podcast. So we'd like to take some time out of the Balcony Time podcast to thank you for listening. As always, if you like what you're hearing, hate what you're hearing, or think what you're hearing is meh, we'd like to hear about it. Leave us a post on Facebook at facebook.com/balconytimepodcast or send us a tweet to @balconytimepc. Also, be sure to rate, review, rave, and rant about the Balcony Time podcast on iTunes and Apple Podcasts. Now, back out to the balcony.
So, Russ, let's talk about your dick.
Let's do it. Back to my penis.
Yeah.
So, follow up on the hair removal situation. So, we know that we abandoned the concept of trying out the manscaping electric razor.
Yeah.
Nixon clips.
Yes, I don't know if you were privy to the conversation before. You probably heard it in the podcast,
I
but
have.
you've seen ads for like the manscaping razor online and stuff like that. They claim that it's got like skin safe technology. I read through enough reviews.
That's not a
It's-
thing.
No, it's the motor's not strong enough that it's not going to get snagged up in some coarse thickets, and you still can cut yourself. So I was like, I'm not going to waste like $40-$50 or something. I don't remember how much it was. Too much. On an experiment that seemed like it was going to fail. So I moved over to trying out the cremes. And I have like I believe it's just Nair sensitive.
Now, is that for your skin or for the hair? Or for the place where it's going?
I don't understand the question.
The sensitive part.
It is
For skin
for
in
skin.
general,
Well,
or
it's-
just the
so
places where it's going?
almost all hair removal creams that you can buy that I've encountered are always going to tell you do not use in
Your
like,
butthole?
your
Yeah,
genital areas.
That's why I always wanted to use it for my. I heard the warning. And it's like
Right, and they will all say that and stuff. But I did enough research online that said like that's mostly just a safety precaution to make sure you don't hurt yourself. And then what's going to come down to is like how sensitive your skin is, and what product you're using. So specifically buying one that is labeled sensitive, so it's supposed to be less harsh on your skin, less chance of you having a chemical burn, and then being very rigorous about testing beforehand, which usually involves putting a small amount, like timing it out for how long it's supposed to be there, washing it away, and then not monitoring the situation for like 72 hours to make sure you're not getting like a chemical burn. So I did that with the Nair sensitive cream. Tried it out in a spot, seemed good, decided to just jump full steam, just cremed up my boys, just the general area. Now I'm still refining the process, but I say that I've met with good success. I have not had any burns. I think that my issue now is that I have to increase the amount of time that I'm leaving the cream on to more effectively remove hair. But that is the dicey situation because the longer you leave it on, the more likely you are to get a chemical burn. But so far I've had like zero irritation going. I think I leave it on for roughly 5-6 minutes or so, and it does a pretty remarkable job of removing the hair that I'd like to move, but it's not getting all of the hair. So it either requires like a follow-up that I'll do in about 2 days afterwards, because it recommends on the bottle not to do it. I think it says for like 72 hours, don't apply it again. But I think it's, once again, that's an over safety precaution. So I'll usually at least wait 2 days before reapplying. But now I'm just honing that. I want to hit that golden threshold to where I'm getting maximum hair removal with minimal like damage.
Yeah. Minimal damage and effort.
Yes. It's kind of a weird process because it's essentially melting off the hair.
Yeah.
Right? It's just
Gross.
napalm destroying the hair.
Yep.
Well, so you'll run into this weird issue because I originally had this stuff. I tried it on my back, which do not attempt to remove hair on your back by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a two-man op.
It should definitely be a 2-man op. Yeah, we have the same case. Look at that. Do you have a was S9?
S9, yeah.
Nice. Very cool. Anyways, so on the back of that I bought like a lotion application stick. It's got like a foam pad on
Mhm.
the end of a stick, and you put supposed cream on there, and so it wasn't. It's awkward, obviously, trying to apply a lotion to your back with a stick, especially considering the foam pad doesn't really want to hold the lotion very well. So I think the first time I lathered it up, I was like, all right, here we go. And I reach over to my shoulder, my back, and just, this big old glob of shit just falls onto the bathroom floor. I'm like, ah. The other problem is that getting it off, you need to be aggressive in like scrubbing off the material, because that will help take the hair off that's been weakened. Because if you don't, what's going to end up happening is that a lot of that hair is going to still stick to your body, but it's like it's like fried, curled up little tiny shorty hairs, right? Yeah, no, it's not. It's not.
I'm going to say again, ew.
Fried curlies.
It's not
Fried
attractive.
curlies.
Where you can, it's almost like, if I rubbed my back afterwards, you could get
Great for potatoes, bad for hair.
You don't want curly fries on your back.
Nope.
no. So I think it's a success. I'd label it as a success. It's just honing and refining the process. Makes for an interesting. So it's weird. I had like a fungus on my neck and shoulders, but it's benign fungus. I went to the doctor about it and stuff, and all it did was cause like some slight skin discoloration.
Now, how does the fungus get up there, though? Just like,
So-
is it like I mean, I understand how it gets on your feet or your genitals. It's dark.
My
it's
doctor said it
warm.
was a yeast imbalance is what causes it.
Okay.
And it typically flares up from heat.
Oh.
And I noticed a lot of times after I'd been out in the summer, like working out at the farm or anything like that, I'd have a breakout to where like it almost looked like I had kind of red marks on certain parts of my skin.
It's like a heat rash kind of a thing.
It would look like a
but
heat rash.
fungal related.
Yeah, so my doctor
Okay.
said it's actually a fungal thing. He said it's completely benign, doesn't do anything.
Is
He
there a
gave me-
creme for that?
Yeah, he gave me a shampoo for it. Now, this one was really awkward during the whole process because you have to apply it and then leave it on for 10 minutes. So it's like this weird bathroom shower situation where like I get into the shower, lather up this cream, and then I have to wait 10 minutes. And like
Before-
it's weird.
yeah.
You can't be like under the water because you got to let it sit there. So like what do you do in the shower when you're not showering for 10 minutes?
Dehair your privates.
So I get both done simultaneously.
Hey, it works.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'll just get back out of the shower and like watch a YouTube video. I mean, a YouTube video makes a good timer. I'm like, oh, it's an 8-minute video. I'll just
Yeah.
watch this video and then I'll get back in.
That's how I
And,
time my breaks at work.
yeah,
You know?
That works
So,
out. It
yeah.
works out.
I would recommend anybody that is interested in using a hair removal cream to just go forward tentatively. But I feel it is a
Oh no, I wouldn't mind having my eggs hairless.
Yeah.
shaving. That's all got started because shaving down there is such a pain in the ass.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, I'm trying to wrestle the pug of privates situation where it's just skin folds and hair.
The pug of privates.
yeah,
Yeah, I just imagine them breathing poorly, but yeah,
they
no.
probably do. I mean, it would explain why it gets so hot down there.
Hot and
Hot and moist, pug
3 feet.
breath. So,
Oh my god. That
I still have not done the second experiment yet, which was the not Mucinex,
Metamucil.
Metamucil.
Yeah, fiber. Just adding more fiber.
fibery
Yeah.
poos.
But I hear that you, Andy, have taken the leap into Fiber Town.
I have just a couple days ago, so I
I
don't
just
have
want to
like
say that I'm so glad we're talking about our bodies. It's great.
yeah.
It's awesome. So you were saying,
So so now I'm going to talk about my poops.
Mhm.
So I haven't seen much impact to my bowel movements yet. Yeah. So
So let's see the number. So you're how many days in are you?
3.
3 days in.
3 days
and
in.
How much fiber are you taking? Like, what are you doing?
I'm taking a capsule of Metamucil. So I opted not to do the drink
Sure.
because that's just dishes and
that's a
a
pain in
fucking
the
extra
ass.
mess. I'll take a pill
okay.
with the rest of my pills in the
a
morning.
real man just pours the powder into his mouth and chugs water right out of the faucet.
you chew.
I actually did that with my protein powder. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. Yeah, I've done that too. Yeah. There hasn't been too much of a difference because I think my bowel movements were already pretty improved by the probiotics.
Wow. You're a
Um,
bad test subject.
I kind of am. Well, my poops have always been awesome. I rarely have bad poops.
So I need to take a crack in mine. It's like I'm rolling the dice every time I go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
You can change from hour to hour.
Mine just stays pretty consistent. Yeah, I mean, fewer wipes is the key thing.
Well, that's what we were shooting for.
Yeah.
Was the
So,
clean poop.
I definitely have fewer wipes. Even less so than after starting the probiotics. So it's doing something.
Oh, okay.
I assume. I don't know. It's only been a couple days. But yeah, it's been nice, man. I've got good poops.
Well, we'll check back next week.
Definitely.
Stay consistent.
Oh, yeah. I'll keep
and
everybody
stay
posted.
consistent.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
Keeping it regular. You know? God damn it, the puns.
Keep it regular consistently.
Those
my
bun
God.
puns.
Those bun puns.
Oh.
My God, dude. Fucking Impact fucked me up. I gotta say, like, I don't know why, but it yeah. Not making much of an
Andy's
impact.
would fuck you.
Right?
So, I quit smoking. I'm still vaping, but, it's a lot less nicotine per day.
I just watched you
guess.
smoke a cigarette. Don't lie to the
Hey,
people.
shh.
Don't put that out there.
Yeah.
That's
No,
secret knowledge.
I like to do it. I'd like to do it on occasion. Mostly, I usually smoke one during the podcast.
Yeah. That's
And
what
that's
I've seen
usually
him
it
do.
for the week.
I'm just jealous because I don't have the ability to enjoy a social cigarette. All or nothing when it comes to that. But
Yeah.
one thing I have noticed since not smoking for 2 months, yay, is the smell of cigarettes, which I thought was just like people being, like, oh, you're being picky or you're being bitchy. And you're just like, no, like now when people roll up to the window at work, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Have another one, why don't you? Like, I mean, I can smell it.
And
like,
it could literally be like their first cigarette of the day. It's not even like they were hotboxing their car
Nope.
smoking cigarettes.
Nope,
It'd just be
they
one
smoked
cigarette.
a cigarette
Yep.
Yeah.
and they reek
Yeah.
The fact
for
is,
like 8 feet out.
you've gone without cigarettes for 2 months. Your sense of smell is becoming more acute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not nose blind to the smell of it anymore.
And not even necessarily, I would say like it's more acute for your deadened senses before, which means you're getting more on par with what normal non-smokers smell.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, the first one I had was I was sitting down at the poker table, and I hadn't had a cigarette, and I think like 2 weeks at the time, and somebody came back in. I was sitting next to him before, and then they went out and had a cigarette, and then they came back and sat down next to me, and I was like, Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
like that is pungent, and
Mhm.
it's frustrating knowing that like, I went 15 some odd years being
Right.
that guy.
Yeah.
Right?
And anytime I think about all the times that I'd come back in for a cigarette and somebody would be like, oh, I went and had a cigarette. And I'd be like, how
How'd
do
you
you
know?
know?
Yeah.
I was outside. The wind was blowing.
Yeah, no, I thought for sure my girlfriend was just making like, because she's kind of a picky person, and I thought she's just being picky about it, and she doesn't want me to smoke, so of course it smells bad, yada yada. But then like now I'm smelling people, I'm like, oh my God, no wonder she didn't like. She's like, no, you can smoke, but sit over there. Like,
See,
I get it.
I don't like this. I don't dislike the smell of cigarette smoke or the remainders of cigarette smoke, so it's never bothered me, smoking or not.
Yeah, I think I'm too indoctrinated to it. I'm also blessed in the fact that my girlfriend has actually enjoyed the scent of cigarette smoke on me, which bewilders me, but I'm extremely thankful for it.
I do like the smell
Take
of a
the
cigarette,
blessing.
man.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
She's been nothing but supportive in my desire to quit smoking, or even if I kept smoking, she mostly just wants me to be healthy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
We should probably quit smoking then.
which that's the I feel like I'm there. I mean,
Right? I don't know, like, well, we're getting older. I never honestly wanted to
Yeah.
smoke past 30 anyway, which is a weird thing to say.
I never
but
wanted to smoke at all.
I don't
I
know.
always
Your
did. I
guys'
loved it.
Fucking fault for that shit.
I loved it, man.
I was just a fucking idiot and started smoking, so I'd have something to do
Yeah.
with a girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I liked having breaks at work.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, those motherfuckers are taking a smoke break? I smoke. I'll take one too. I'll take a break.
I don't understand how this system works. Of like the smoker breaks. It's
Yeah,
like,
I've never gotten that either.
it's not like whenever I don't get more breaks.
Yeah. I never
Like,
got more breaks because I smoked. Because the way I think about it is like nobody's going to sympathize with that. Like, haven't had a cigarette in a while, better go take an extra break.
Sure.
Yeah, like that's not.
You're working a
fair.
job, you get state mandated breaks.
Yeah.
that
I don't know.
you're
I
allowed to
suppose
get,
just
but-
where the places I've worked, like there's been a few jobs where it's pretty regimented. You smoke a cigarette on your
Yeah.
smoke break.
Yeah.
But I worked in quite a few restaurants where in the back of the house where if it's slow, the cooks are outside smoking.
Yeah.
They're
Sure.
they're just standing around outside until someone comes in and pops down an order. They'll take breaks, and so there's always a person on the line. But they'll just rotate it through.
But that's not the situation that like I find confusing. It's this.
Well, they got extra breaks. They got they just went out to smoke a cigarette.
But I've encountered the same like, oh, you're a smoker. You get smoke breaks is somehow like a special occasion to you at jobs where everyone's getting the same amount of breaks.
Yeah,
and I think it's just like a smoker values that break so much more than the non-smoker, because as I've stopped smoking, there's times where like I won't take a break.
No, keep working.
Yeah, because I mean I'm sure my boss is tickled that I would just keep working as long as, no one's watching, because you can get in trouble for that. But
yeah,
I mean, more productivity for time that he's not paying for. But it is just a matter of like, I don't feel the need as much to go out and take that break, because I'm not going to be doing anything. I mean, might as well just get some more work done.
Yeah, they're a little quicker.
I still like to take my breaks just because like, it's not even necessarily de-stressing. It's just getting away, and my job requires a lot of thought, so maybe it helps me clear my head or whatever. But,
I think the job matters a lot. I don't work with people, so I don't need a break from the people.
Yeah.
I go back and forth working with people, working not with people.
I do too.
I mean,
so it's a good mix, but I definitely I don't know, most of the time when I'm like out doing maintenance-y things, I'll just, take a break when I'm tired for a few minutes, take a few breaths, catch my breath, do what I'm doing, then get back to it. I don't need a...
Well, now, I mean, like when I'm in fair season, I'll take my breaks more often just because the boss isn't in the shop. We have people that aren't fully trained up at work and stuff, so it's like I will get interrupted in my work constantly. It's like all day, every day, within like 20 minutes, someone's going to be coming asking me a question about something. So I'll take my breaks now, just be like, I'm going to take 10 minutes where I know I'll go hide somewhere where I'm not easily accessible and be like, all right, I'm going to watch a YouTube video and chill out.
I still vape, so I've got that regimen,
Shit, I'll just vape where I'm at, but perks.
Well, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
I'll walk to a different room.
Oh, man, that'd be so nice. No, it wouldn't, because I wouldn't get away from work. Never mind. I take it all back.
Then you don't get the break.
Yeah.
You can do it right there.
Yeah.
Just every couple of hours, man, I got to clear my head. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. It is nice. There's times where I do need a break. So, but I don't know. It's so weird. I feel like there's this stigma of smokers get more breaks than other people, but I've worked jobs where people had that stigma even when everyone was taking the same exact freaking breaks. Like when I'm at the fair, like when I go do Bonnie Lake, there's usually like once in a 12-hour day, I'll be like, hey, can I like sneak around back and have a cigarette? But I've been working for like 7 hours straight.
Yeah.
And I'll get that look like from anybody that I'm, my boss or another employee, like, oh, I was gonna go take a break. What a slacker.
Yeah.
I'm like, excuse me. I've literally watched all of you go not work for various periods of time where I've been doing nothing but straight working for 7 hours. I'm going to go take 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You can eat a dick. But now I don't smoke. It's like, I just got to work 12 hours straight.
Yeah.
Boo.
Or you can be like, I wanted to go check out the fair real quick. Because, that seems reasonable.
Yeah.
I think everybody does that.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
And I can. And I have. So
yeah.
Go look at the camel.
Well, I mean, also smoking, it's like that built-in excuse, right? Like,
well, it's your body telling you.
Yeah.
Go take a break.
Yeah.
Feed me, Seymour.
One time I was kind of a dick about the smoke break. I was working at Wendy's. There was some sort of activity in town. We were just slammed from 8 to midnight when we closed. And I didn't get my last break. And as soon as the fucking lights in the drive-thru went off, I just beelined it outside to smoke. And my manager was like, you can't do that. You have to, you can't smoke after we lock the doors and shit like that. I was just like, no. Either I'll smoke or I'll leave.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, you got to think about that situation. It was like, well, you didn't give me the mandatory break. So how do you want to play this? Like, I either get pissed because you broke the law, or I be unsafe and take.
Either way, I'm smoking a cigarette. Am I,
Yeah.
am I coming back in to help work afterwards, or am I going home after this?
That's what it boils
What's
down
up?
to.
Yeah.
You have
What's
no
up?
power here. Like, where's your God now, priest?
An excellent movie. Very quotable. Very quotable.
What movie's that?
Poltergeist.
Oh, okay.
Not Poltergeist. The power of Christ compels you.
The Where's Your
Exorcist.
God Now, priest is from one of the pre-sequel Antichrist baby movies.
Yeah, no, but it's they're all from the guy who
The Exorcist.
The Exorcist. They're all
Yeah,
all from the from the Exorcist
Mhm.
line of
Yeah.
not Poltergeist. That's
Trash.
with Coach.
They're here. That's Poltergeist,
Yep.
man.
Yeah.
Dude, that movie was freaky as fuck.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't go into the light.
I was scared to get braces as a kid. I never did because I was scared. Because I was scared. Probably should have, but yeah, man, that braces scene had me scarred for life.
You don't need braces.
Yeah, absolutely.
What?
My teeth are fucked up.
No, they're not.
They're totally fucked up.
No, they're not.
They're fucked up enough for braces. Yeah.
You don't got any sort of weird snaggletooth situation.
No, I don't have snaggle teeth going on, but you know.
I'm so glad I got this one fixed. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get
Teeth.
the wisdom teeth pulled.
Yeah.
That's a bitch.
Yeah.
I was lucky I got that done in the Army for free.
I'm not wise enough.
You need them.
I haven't packed enough wisdom into my teeth yet
Yep.
that they're overflowing and need to be pulled out.
Yeah, mine's gotta happen, I think.
Well, you know how they do it is they just numb up the entire area, and then the guy with some pliers comes in, and he just yanks it out of your face.
Yeah.
Sometimes he has to yank it around, and your head starts moving, and
Yeah.
you're like,
He's
"Oh
gonna
my
have
god!"
to, man. Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
you gotta put a
And,
foot on your chest to get some leverage.
Just about. With I had one it was coming in just a little sideways, trying to crush one tooth against another.
Mhm.
Sneak attack.
Yep, and. Dude, he was pulling on that thing for like 30 minutes. It was most of the visit was that one. Everything else, he's like, I'm going to save that one for last. It's going to be a real bitch. And just pulled out the other ones, itty bitty, no problem, easy peasy. This last one, though, struggling and straining, using like both hands at one point. And I was like, oh shit. But one thing that they don't tell you is that sometimes they leave fragments in there.
Mhm.
And so I spit one up. The last one came out finally a few weeks ago, but it takes sometimes weeks for these
That's
things
disconcerting.
to reemerge. And I was like, oh, that's a chunk of tooth that
Yeah.
finally reemerged from my gums.
Yep.
Lovely. It's gross. And like you said, disconcerting.
I don't like ever having mystery bits of hard things
No.
In
my
your mouth.
Mhm.
Yep. It's you're like, what the, oh, ew.
Yeah.
It's like unexpectedly biting on something hard
Mm.
is probably one of the tortures in hell.
It might be.
Ooh.
It might be.
Brr.
Can't believe I was stupid enough to bite a coin. So that's how that one tooth got broke.
Yeah, to test.
Yeah.
Were you what are you, a fucking miner from
That was-
1850?
That was my idea.
It's good.
I had this gold-plated coin, which I was hoping was pure gold. Was not pure gold.
As it turns out, gold
And that
plated.
solid core.
Wouldn't you just bite down and try to bend it, like wiggle it, you know?
No, I just bit down on it.
It's too hard, apparently.
Yeah. Thing is, it did actually warp the gold on the surface.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Lesson learned.
Don't do that shit again.
Right? It's like biting into a piece of figgy pudding or whatever, and then like Charles Dickens shit
There's
there.
been so many times people in my life have like seen me doing something where I'm using my teeth, and they're like, "Don't do that. You're gonna hurt your teeth." And I'm like,
Am
I
I?
feel like I'll know
Mhm.
if I'm putting too much pressure on my teeth.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna stop before I break.
I mean,
it.
maybe.
Well, then again, it's like you never really know the tensile
So
strength
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Until it's
so
really tested. Yeah.
I've tried to cut back on the amount of things that I use my teeth on.
Mm-hmm.
Hard plastic containers.
Yeah.
Are still a go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ice.
My brother used to chew
Toenails.
bottle caps.
Oh, okay.
Plastic 20-ounce bottle caps.
Oh, I've done that before.
He would chew them flat.
I've done that before.
I don't know how you can do that.
Yeah, it seems impossible. Yeah, no, my friends' kids will like bite their toenails. I'm like, that's just gross.
I used to
Do
bite
you
my
remember
toenails.
being that small and being
Yeah.
able to actually get your foot into your mouth?
I can get my foot to my mouth now. I don't want to fucking bite my toenails.
Okay, because I think it wasn't even that long ago, maybe like 2-3 years ago, to where it's probably longer now because time, whatever.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Somewhere in the last decade, we had a conversation about biting toenails, and I think some of us tried to see if we still get our toes into our mouths. And I think I was able to, but I realized that like you don't have the flexibility required to do a foot nail trim.
Yeah.
Because it requires more dexterity than just getting foot to mouth. You gotta get.
You got to
like-
keep it there first of all.
Yeah, you gotta
You got to wrestle
I
with
don't
it.
remember being a part of that, but
I mean, we weren't actively trying to like chew off our nails. We
Yeah,
were seeing like
gross.
flexibility wise.
Man, as a group,
Could we
we've
get
done a lot
there?
of weird shit.
Yeah, well,
well, you know,
Like the first thing that comes to my mind is trying to throw up without
oh my, well, no,
without sticking your fingers down your throat.
in the parking lot of a closed public park.
Yep.
Yep. Well, you know,
Dude, I'm still proud of myself for being like
we did
All right,
some
I'm
of
gonna-
our best work in closed parks.
true, but for being like I can throw up on command, and I did it within
Please
like 15 seconds.
Just-
Yeah, because we called you out. We're like, nah.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's bullshit. And
Took
sure
no
enough,
time. No time.
You guys tinfoiled me. That was kind of weird.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The tinfoiling.
Oh
the
man,
tinfoiling.
we didn't do as much tinfoiling as I had hoped we would accomplish.
To Justin?
Yeah,
No, I mean we got like a hand.
I think we got his
and, like,
shoes
and
Yeah.
shoes,
Yeah. and his feet maybe.
I think we
Yeah.
didn't realize how little tinfoil actually comes in a tinfoil pack.
Yeah,
It's not very much.
And we might have
Amazing.
underestimated your deep sleepedness.
Yeah.
yeah. It's unfortunate. But the confusion on your face, man, was just priceless.
We had
Yeah.
that on video somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just looking at the hand, like, what
Mhm.
the fuck? I'm a robot.
Man, I wonder where all the video, because we've taken a lot of video of ourselves.
Right?
I got that video camera for a little while when we were inspired
Yeah,
by
it was a lot of-
Jackass.
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
yeah.
I feel like you took most of the video, and where it went is
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Somewhere.
in your ether somewhere.
Yeah, dude. My junior project was interviewing a stormtrooper, which was awesome because the 501st was in town for
Cool.
episode 3. That was baller. I don't know where that footage is, man.
Nice.
Sad.
I know that the video of Josh getting punched is still on YouTube. Last time I checked,
Yeah.
Oh shit.
the man up and having somebody punch you in the stomach.
Oh yeah, that was good. That's how Houdini died.
Yeah.
Youth.
Wait, what?
Yeah. That's how
Houdini died from somebody punching him in the stomach?
Yep.
No.
I don't think
He
that's-
drowned in that fucking box in the river.
No.
Didn't he rupture his spleen?
Yeah.
Getting punched?
Yep.
I'm jujling it.
Yeah. Do that.
Jujule that.
Jujule that.
We still have some of the video. Like,
Go Tango.
basically, after it all became digital, I was able to save the video. It's on a private YouTube channel.
Died from appendicitis.
Oh.
Brought on by.
I don't know. I'm.
Can you get appendicitis from being punched?
Maybe.
I really hope so.
Oh God,
Me
this is
too.
the History
Because
Channel.
I believed it.
it's gonna be aliens.
Oh, yeah, it's aliens.
I'm
Fucking
saying
that-
that it's aliens.
but it's
Died on
aliens.
Halloween,
Oh.
1926.
Oh, shit. We're coming up on the anniversary, man.
Yeah.
Circumstances surrounding his demise remain mysterious to this day.
Mm.
Oh. Okay.
So maybe.
So
Josh,
maybe.
I'm not gonna read this. This is the freaking History Channel. Like
Yeah.
Wikipedia is more reliable than the History
Yeah.
Channel.
Yes.
I have to agree.
Dude, the History
one
Channel
does-
is no longer about history.
No, you know, it's
Oh, okay. This says he died of peritonitis, which is secondary to a ruptured appendix.
Hmm.
brought on by.
I'm reading. Okay, so witnesses to an incident at Houdini's dressing room in the Princess Theater in Montreal speculated that Houdini's death was caused by a McGill University student, Jocelyn Gordon Whitehead, who repeatedly struck Houdini's abdomen.
Huh.
See, I know things.
Whitehead asked Houdini if he believed in the miracles of the Bible and whether it was true that punches in the stomach did not hurt him. He then delivered some very hammer-like blows below the belt.
Oh,
Hammer-like.
Hammerlock.
Houdini was reclining on a couch, having broken his ankle earlier.
Oh. See, we're learning all sorts of things.
Mhm.
He did not have the opportunity to prepare himself against the blows.
Well, that's fucked up.
Yeah, lounging on a couch sounds like he just got
Yeah.
jumped.
Yeah, dude.
Do you believe in the Bible?
You better now.
I'll show you some magic.
Watch Houdini disappear from your lives.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't know. Can punching cause appendicitis is the real question.
Yeah. Probably not.
Because, I mean, he could
I
have
don't
just...
know. If somebody
Well,
can
look
die
that
from
up.
getting struck in the head by one punch, maybe an appendix could rupture.
Sure, I suppose.
You know,
Do you guys still have your appendixes? Your
Yes.
pendi?
I do.
So far.
Yeah.
Mine
too.
processes cheese now.
I wish mine. I don't need
Is
mine
that
to
what it
process
does?
cheese.
They say that the appendix was for our ancestors to break down bark.
Oh.
I've heard that. I don't know.
But now it does
sources
cheese?
Or if it's through sheer willpower. I have convinced my body to use the useless organ as the appendix to process cheese.
That's good for you because cheese is excellent.
Yes,
But it still impacts your bowel movements.
no, it doesn't. Cheese is the one dairy that I can eat without repercussion
Oh.
because I have an appendix processing cheese factory.
Mhm.
Good. Good.
I guess
Good.
I do too, or I don't need it because my superpower is cheese.
Several
yeah.
current textbooks omit trauma as a cause of appendicitis.
So it seems 50-50.
Science says maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So maybe Houdini died from that, but he definitely died from appendicitis or complications that thereof.
Of the
Yeah.
rupturing of said shitty organ.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some useless bullshit.
Boy, that's not as magical as you'd think it'd be, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Couldn't escape that one.
Oh man, illusions.
It's one hell of a prestige.
Maybe he should have tried to remove his appendix as a magic trick.
Yeah, right.
Dude, you know what I've been watching?
What have you been watching?
I've been watching The X-Files again.
Oh,
God, I love that show.
it's such a good show.
The first season really is rough.
Well, I mean, it's early 90s TV.
Yeah,
man.
1993.
What is this?
There's
What?
some really bad CG. The X-Files.
Oh.
I'm rewatching it, just, something to throw on while I'm doing other stuff. Man, it's good.
I mean, the show was campy when it came out.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, there's some definitely serious episodes, but like because they do Monster of the Week for the most part. But
Well, I
then
feel like
return.
they kind of made Monster of the Week,
No, Monster.
No?
I mean,
Monster of the Week
Law and
is
Order
a-
was already running from the late 70s.
Bum bum.
No,
This is the first show on television.
Yeah, right.
right? Yeah. Sam Waterston, is that the juror's
Yeah,
name?
with the eyebrows.
Oh man,
Those eyebrows.
I love that guy.
Yeah,
I love
I
that.
love him.
Yeah, absolutely.
The function of the appendix is still unknown. Another theory is that it's a storehouse for good bacteria to reboot the system after like diarrheal illnesses. Also interesting.
So they think maybe that's still its function.
Possible.
Oh,
Yeah. Or, other experts say that's also useless remnant from our evolutionary past. So
Yeah. Which is what I've always understood it as.
Science shrugs.
yeah.
Well,
We should repurpose it. Figure that shit out.
Right? Willpower. Cheese.
Well, dude, we can't do that until we figure out if the Earth is round or not. So,
Yeah.
that's what scientists are working on
I
now.
know,
is
man.
convincing everyone the Earth is round.
I wonder if all the conspiracy theories have actually rerouted some funding to figuring that shit out.
no.
You would hope not.
Yeah. You would really hope not.
But you remember in the 90s when scientists were like, we found shit on bars and cloned sheep.
yeah.
And now today they're like, seriously, for the last fucking time, the planet is round.
Yeah,
It's
man.
round.
It's
Look
like
at it.
for real.
Here's a picture.
Yep.
Talk to this guy who's outside looking at it.
There's
He can
always
tell
some
you.
weird kook that's like, well, that's easy to fake,
Yeah,
and
right.
they're like, look at all this pseudoscience
It's
that I've
as
made up.
simple as watching a ship go out into the ocean. You can see the mast and not the rest of the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's obviously a curvature.
But there are arguments against it.
Nah, it's Photoshop, bro. CG.
Yeah,
You can tell by the pixels.
yeah, dude. Mm.
No, the only time that a legitimate scientist would take any time out of his life to work on adding more evidence to the roundness or flatness of the Earth is if some kooky ass conglomeration of people would pay them to do so.
Mhm.
And these fuckers don't have that money.
Yeah.
Flat earthers aren't pooling
one of them
resources.
built
One
a
of them-
rocket.
A rocket, yeah.
He got into the upper atmosphere and refuses to say what he saw because he knows he's full of shit now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen interviews with that guy and stuff like that, and he knows.
Yeah.
He knows what's good.
Yeah, I feel like it was just a stunt.
Also, building a rocket, not fucking hard.
Yeah, right.
let's see you do it.
Surviving the rocket
Yeah, that's the issue.
is harder.
Honestly,
Okay,
yeah,
that's fair.
Getting something out of the stratosphere
Well-
isn't crazy. I mean, you can buy weather balloons.
Though on
Yeah.
the other hand, since the shuttle got shut down, we don't have a way to put men into space. We have
Yeah.
to rely on Russia for that. So
Or, private companies.
Thanks, Obama.
there is no
SpaceX.
private way to get into space right now.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
China, not private, but there's also China.
Yeah, there's also China.
India has a space program.
They do.
The Indians tried to land on
So does
the moon,
Japan.
and it didn't work.
Don't they have a? Didn't they just successfully land a freaking rover or something?
Yeah.
I know the Japanese
Wait, no,
did.
it wasn't India. It was Israel. No,
A moon
maybe
rover?
Both of them.
Yeah,
failed.
they were doing. The Japanese were growing some shit on the moon or something
What?
like that. Yeah,
That's all. Thank God for Japan.
right.
Man, anime and space travel.
And tentacle.
That's
all
the
those
thing.
people.
There's a Japanese billionaire who gave a shit ton of money to SpaceX.
Japan has those too, huh?
But
Where do all the billionaires live? Are they spread out?
Yeah, they can't.
yeah.
They have to stay within a certain distance of one another. Otherwise,
Like some Highlander shit goes
yeah.
on?
It's like magnets, and they form into one bigger multi-billionaire.
I mean, if we want to talk about the truliest,
The truliest.
the most truly rich people, we talk about like the Saudis that live remotely in the middle of a
Do you
desert.
know how many hundreds of Saudi princes there are?
It's
Well,
ridiculous.
the fact that you just said hundreds.
Yeah,
is,
I know, it's-
like,
it's-
a lot.
it's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
From what I understand, they're able to change their local weather because of how rich they are.
What?
does
Yeah,
that-
like dropping additional moisture in the atmosphere so they can get it to rain locally.
Yeah.
That's fucking incredible.
Yeah, and that's something that they practice kind of regularly.
Huh.
Yeah, they're like, I'd like rain on Tuesday, so make that happen. Here's $4 billion, whatever.
Why does this list only go?
Well, you know,
That's fucking
that
crazy.
fucking oil money, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
List of countries by the number of billionaires.
I bet
Ooh,
America,
that's gotta be a good list.
America's going to have the most.
Of course,
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume so.
585.
Excuse me?
There are 585 billionaires in the United States.
And under Bernie Sanders' tax plan, taxes would go up for about 585 people.
Yep. Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's
that
going to
there's
destroy the world.
Yeah, Justin, come on.
It's
communism.
incredible that there's so many of them.
We should tax them just because they have more money.
What a weird thought.
All right.
What's the next country?
China.
Okay.
476.
Oh shit. Okay.
Wow. I didn't realize it'd be
Yeah,
that
it's
many.
close. It's a closer race than I thought it was going to be.
Well, I mean, they're all government officials, right?
Third,
Yes.
Third
Yes,
is
they are.
India.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I think you're
State-driven capitalism, dude.
Well, I mean, you're also
Fucking A. Get shit done.
you start dealing with like numbers. India is what, the second largest country?
Second most populated.
Yeah.
Just
But
barely.
just barely behind China.
Mhm. Really
Because like you look
creeping
at, they have the numbers of billionaires and then the population per billionaire. So
Yeah.
like United States is like 585 billionaires and there's 559,000 people per billionaire in
Yeah.
the United States. India is that there are 10,221 thousands. So it's like 10 million.
Yeah.
10 million people for each one billionaire.
It's pretty
in
crazy.
India. A little bit different than our country. Germany, Russia, Hong Kong, United Kingdoms, Brazil, Italy, Canada, France. I mean, you don't see an Arab country until Turkey at 18.
It's because there's so many princes. They have to like divide up that money.
So their money's like pooled. It's not.
Yeah, there was actually, it was when, I can't remember the guy's name.
Justin, do me a favor and get that mic pointed right at your mouth
Yeah.
there.
When the regime in Saudi Arabia changed because their king died, the guy who's like second in command, probably the heir to the throne, he arrested hundreds of his cousins.
Oh
and
yeah,
basically
no,
shook them down for
yeah,
money.
yeah, the dude who had the
Ben
journalist
Salman? Or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know so little about any of that stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Next to nothing.
no, but yeah,
Yeah, no, he literally like had
there was
a meeting and they got them all together or whatever because they're going to discuss some sort of finance or group thing. And then he held them hostage until they paid up the appropriate amount of money to his family, like his section of it, and then he released them.
Yeah.
The crazy thing to see on this list is number 6, Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Hong Kong having 67 billionaires, and their comparison to their population number is 110,000. So they have the lowest out of easily the top 20 in a ratio between
so per capita
per population.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and because I mean, if you look at it for the population wise, like the protests going on there is a significant portion of their population is showing up to these protests. Something like 10% or 20. I don't know. I can't remember what it was, but it was like, holy smokes! Can you like? Because if you start putting that same percentage number into say like our country, if 10% of Americans showed up for a protest,
millions of people,
right? And like it would, holy shit! But
that's
so like it's weird. It's weird, and it's the length that it's been going on, and
if I'm reading this right. So they have a column here that says richest in the country or their dependencies net worth in billions. So China, who has 476 billionaires, the richest there in net worth is 38.8 billion. Hong Kong, who only has 67, their richest is 37.7. So there's a dude out of the 67 in Hong Kong that has almost more money than the richest billionaire in China.
Wow.
I mean, all this really makes a lot more sense why China's so chomping at the bit to fully absorb Hong Kong and fold.
Oh yeah.
Once you see where the money's at.
Well, I mean, the money's there, and also it just Hong Kong like is outside of the norm of the rest of China.
Yeah.
I mean,
they want to nip that in the bud.
Yeah, like because then people that free thought, that idea of thought, and like it's like a ball rolling. Once it starts moving, it's hard to stop. So stop it before it gets moving. But I totally support that fight for democracy. They're fighting for theirs and watching ours.
Well, and now we're banned.
Spiral.
Now we're banned in China.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry.
fine. It's fine.
Those Switzerners can still listen to us.
Yes,
Absolutely.
they can.
But they're not listening to us anymore.
Dang it. It was a mistake.
Yeah.
They walked in the wrong door and they're like, no. I'm not throwing rope here. High speed rope throwing.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit.
Has that quote from, is Mao still leader of China?
No, it's
Xi
President Xi
Jinping or something like that.
Xi Jinping?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I want to get that quote.
Though Chairman Meow is the name of my work cat, if anyone was curious.
I wasn't, but thank you. I didn't know you had a work cat.
Yeah, no, he's great. His real name's Peekaboo, but it's
that's
dumb.
That's a video.
Yeah.
Yep. So I call him Chairman Meow, and it just delights people when they hear his name.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so that's we talk about it when we're outside the Joker and stuff because we were discussing the Blizzard and Hong Kong stuff. It's like it's so the dichotomy between how China runs things in a country like United States or United Kingdoms or something runs it. I think could be summarized with like a quote from Xi, where it's like anyone attempting to split China in any part of the country will end in crushed bodies and shattered bones.
Yep.
I mean, you can't fuck around with that. Like
No.
that's
It's literally Tiananmen Square. Fucking tanks rolling over people.
I mean, he's literally like, I mean, that's why I was talking about. You know, I'm all for the fight in Hong Kong, and like, but the only way that ever gets resolved without them being fully assimilated by China is if somehow monetarily it doesn't make sense for them to fully absorb Hong Kong. Because at the end of the day, when you have a leader that says like, if you try to take this away from us, we will just kill and destroy until it is part of us. You can't combat that.
No.
Like, you're going to lose. I'm sorry. Like, so, which could lead into us talking about, you know, why our corporations should be taking a stronger stand.
Yeah.
This, because it's the only thing China would respect is if they lose money
money.
on the deal.
Yeah. So how about we take on the humanitarian fight and speak with our money instead of, more body count.
Bending over and just letting them.
Right. Now, I understand that a lot of our money comes from China. It is what it is.
Of course, to be fair, I look at, what I think of this Hong Kong situation. It's probably nowhere near similar, but in my mind, I think of Crimea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did we do about Crimea?
Not a
Fuck
damn
all.
thing.
Not a goddamn thing.
But hopefully the attention that this is getting, especially from like Activision Blizzard, only 10% of the revenue, I think, is what we found out, or 12% of their revenue comes from China.
Mm-hmm.
But large enough chunk that they're willing to bow down to the Chinese government.
Well,
So-
I don't know. I'm glad the NBA is taking a stiffer stand against them because
Yeah.
and the NBA has a lot of money invested in China.
Yeah, they do.
and I don't know. I'd really like to see some of our corporations stand up and fight the good fight.
It's really weird because a lot of conservative talk is, Blizzard had the right to do this to protect their shareholders and to protect their assets. Weren't you just fighting to get rid of Chinese power and influence over our business and our infrastructure and our economy? Where does that kick in?
Right?
Yeah.
That's really what I don't understand is like are we going back on China's influence on our economy? Are we backing down to the Chinese government here so we can make more money?
The thing is, the Chinese are dumping billions around the planet.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they're becoming more influential in more countries than we are.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's starting to really look like the next century is going to be the Chinese century.
Oh yeah, I think so too. But that's because it's being allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allowed? I mean, I feel like they've worked to get where they're at.
Oh,
sure,
yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
It's-
But it's not like it's not like America as a superpower doesn't have a say in these kinds of things.
No.
We
but-
literally we drug them to where they could take over
Mhm.
and did. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, state-driven capitalism. It
Yeah.
gets
Yeah.
shit done.
what it
For
comes
sure.
down to is if you don't have the red
And
tape
then
of humanitarian issues.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
quality
America
issues.
America had it during World War II. I would say that would be a period where we had state-driven capitalism because
Yeah.
we were telling the companies we need fucking bombers and
Yeah.
fighter jets and
Yeah.
all that shit. And we
You
got
are now
a
a
lot of
factory
shit
that
done.
needs 3,000 people to build us this. Go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whereas the Chinese do that every year. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, I think like what Russ was saying with broken bones and crushed spirits and all that jazz. When CRISPR was a big thing a few months ago,
Yeah.
they were talking about it, and I remember this Chinese scientist was being interviewed
Yeah.
by a guy who's like, well, what about this aspect or the humanity? And he's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. What
we don't
humanitarian aspect?
we don't have that in China. We just do the tests and advance.
Yeah.
That's it. We move forward.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's like,
to his
Whoa.
credit, they made twin girls that have a gene that makes them more or less immune to HIV.
To HIV,
AIDS.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, it's crazy what you can accomplish with a complete disregard for human life.
Yep.
So on that topic, they did there was another I'm gonna mispronounce it Kurzgesagt video. Kurzgesagt video about nuclear bombs, talking about like what
The
it
one
would
going
do
off in the city.
in a city.
Yo,
Yeah.
very interesting.
So
Very interesting.
we've discussed before in the group about the tactical impossibility of a land conflict in the United States, right? So like people talk about China coming over, taking over a country. It's
not-
insane, right? The guerrilla warfare that include when every citizen here owns 5 firearms.
Yeah, good luck.
Would be bananas. But there's other things to think about. So like I've had this conversation with my dad before. He used to work at the Umatilla Army Depot where they store chemical weapons. And he's like, my dad's just flat out. He's like, there's so many ways that we have to clear out living populations of people that aren't nuclear arms.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That the reason we don't talk about it is because we don't want people to freak the fuck out
Yeah.
about how many methods we have to where, like, he's like, we had gases that we could just drop. It would kill everything, all humans in an area.
Yeah.
And then dissipate and leave that area habitable. That's not a nuke. It's not leaving a place irradiated.
Nukes are scary and terrifying, but they're probably the least cruel, maybe long term, of most of our cruel bombs.
Well, I mean, depends on where you are in the
that
blast
Sure.
range.
Absolutely it does. I mean, there's obviously consequence to using nuclear weapons.
They're the greatest at devastation.
Yeah.
Not the greatest at like efficiency
Right.
for what you're trying to achieve. And
Yeah.
you know, you use those because ideally you want to both kill a person but also not destroy the place that you
Right.
live.
And
the planet.
nukes send the message, but yeah.
But I mean, and the Chinese have access to those same chemical weapons.
Mhm.
That we do.
Yeah.
It's not like we have super secret. I mean, we may, but they have
Sure.
their own super secret
Yeah,
ones too.
every
We just
superpower
have
is going to.
the advantage of the largest moat ever on both sides of our country, and
Helpful.
also the largest navy that's ever existed, largest, most powerful navy that's
Mhm.
ever existed. So,
Speaking about war, I've recently found out that there are a large swath of France that borders like Belgium and Germany is off limits to people because
Oh yeah.
there are still fucking mines in the
Mhm.
ground
From
World War
munitions.
One.
from World
Yeah.
War One,
And there's like chemical weapon or chemical pools
Mhm.
Mhm.
and stuff like that. Blew me away.
Yeah, I think
It's been
I've-
100
I've-
years.
I just heard that recently too. Somebody was talking about that, like a podcast or something.
Like in
Yeah,
in
I've
parts
heard
of
that.
Russia where they went for Stalingrad or whatever the fuck it's called now.
Yeah.
Like
Volgograd.
the
Volgograd.
the ghosts of the Ostfront, where like so many generations of soldiers have died trying to go through. Like they unearth World War II soldiers, Napoleonic soldiers, like everyone. Yeah, they still find Napoleonic soldiers in Russia every once in a while, where it's like, oh look, we unearthed a few more. That
I was reading about a battle that took place in the United States between a group of miners and the federal government. I don't remember what sparked it, but essentially it ended up being to where we called in the Air Force to drop bombs on miners protesting in like the Appalachian Mountains. This is like, I think Roosevelt, like Teddy Roosevelt era almost, maybe.
They didn't really have an Air Force then.
It would have literally been like, we're talking like
dirigibles.
like throwing your bombs out
Oh,
the top
yeah.
of a
Okay,
plane status Air Force. But that one was kind of crazy because I think they're talking about how in this area to where these battles took place, sometimes when you're out in the wilderness, you can go around and you can find firearms still left over from that era to where they like hid them. Because after they were like giving out and stuff, they thought they were going to take all their weapons away from them, so they like left them out and like put them in trees and shit like that. And you could
Crazy.
still stumble across those. But the real crazy thing was thinking about how it was we had this weird standoff between striking miners, coal miners, and the federal government.
Well, I mean, that's kind of happened a few times in our history where, I mean, like the government's called in like Pinkertons essentially
Mhm.
that roll through and just, okay, here we go. We're going to break that strike. We got this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the U.S. has a weird
Yeah, we forget
sordid
our
history.
Yeah, we
with
kind of forget that our
unions.
history isn't squeaky clean.
No.
No, we sure like it to be. But, I
Mhm.
mean,
We've whitewashed a lot of history.
I don't know. I feel like America's always an ideal, right? Something we're always moving forward for. The next good thing, the next best thing is what we're trying to go for. We're turning weirdly patriotic on the show.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
thing is, the
Strange.
American dream
Battle
hasn't
of
always been
Blair
the same.
Mountain.
That even has a cool name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the largest labor uprising in United States history, and one of the largest organized armed uprisings since the American Civil War.
What year was it?
This was in 1921
Okay.
So,
in
shit.
Logan County, West Virginia.
That was back during the Red Scares in the United States. It came right after World War One. Because like the Russians,
Communism.
the communists were rising up in Germany and Hungary and Russia, And
it's a more of a Bolshevik scare rather
Yeah.
than like say a Red Scare because it makes you think of McCarthyism, you know.
Oh,
Well, at least
yeah.
it does me anyway. I don't know.
But yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to put machine guns on the roofs in the town to fight these miners.
Wow.
I don't remember how this popped up on my radar, but I just like stumbled across it, probably read it, and then
Yeah.
dove into this, and I was like, man, this was crazy. Yeah, the Air Fleet is what they called it. It wasn't even the Air Force. It was the United States Air Fleet ordered to West Virginia.
To root out them miners.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Use their dynamite against
It
them.
was 10,000 armed coal miners.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
well,
like a
That's a
division.
big ass strike. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is the biggest uprising since the Civil
Fuck.
War. So.
That's impressive.
Yeah, versus 3,000 lawmen and strike breakers.
Who most likely had better weapons than them.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
These
No
miners
doubt.
are literally like hillbillies and shit that are
Yeah.
living in West Virginia
Mhm.
mining
Mhm.
coal. Like,
Yeah.
they apparently made a movie. I'm pretty sure about it.
Wow.
I mean, there's a movie about everything.
Yeah, there is, but
They made a movie
I
about a
feel like-
train that
feel
did
like I
something
would've-
a while ago.
I feel like I would have saw that one though. You know.
1987 film called The Matawan.
Okay, never mind. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Nope. Never heard of it.
just happened to be the
How
year
is
you were
that?
born.
Yeah. How is that shit not being remade? Everything else
Yeah,
is. I'd like to
that's
see
true.
that. You
right?
know.
Yeah.
Just don't let Michael Bay do it when you have to watch that dynamite fall from the top of the thing to land on that poor miner's head or something, you know. But
Yeah, Martin MB-1 bombers. It's literally a biplane.
Yeah.
Martin MB-1 bombers, and they're just dropping bombs out. Just
Yeah,
by
that's
hand.
how you do it. That's
Yeah.
Basically
yeah.
tossing grenades
Yeah.
out of the airplane.
Mhm.
I mean, these are the
I
planes.
gotta
that-
time it right.
Yeah, really do.
I'm not sure they had the mounted guns on them yet because they'd shoot through their own propellers.
Yeah.
That got invented during World War One.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because they had make the engine stop running for a second when they'd fire.
Yeah.
Didn't
Or,
Interrupter.
Yeah,
interrupter, the
interrupter.
interrupter. I was gonna
Yeah.
say the repeater, but that's not.
I was also going to say the repeater.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's weird.
dude, we've been on a weird brainwave
Yeah,
all night.
we've been in
tonight, man.
sync.
Yeah,
Yeah, even our farts.
yeah, they've lined up.
Yeah.
That's what men do. Our periods don't sync up. Our farts do.
Farts do.
Gastrointestinal trubs.
Oh man, man, oh man.
So we can console each other with our
Yeah.
discomfort.
Dude, it is weird. Russ and I will sometimes get on the same poop cycles.
Oh yeah.
I'll go into my bathroom and I'll be sitting down and then suddenly I can hear a little bit of YouTube coming from through the wall. I'm like, oh yeah, Russ and I are pooping.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was less apparent a lot of times when my bathroom fan was functioning.
Yeah.
Now I poop in silence and
Yep.
it's disconcerting. I could hear the downstairs neighbors when they go to the bathroom.
Yeah, me too.
Ew.
Yeah, and then the neighbors across from us next
Oh
door.
no, I can't. I literally heard our downstairs neighbor urinating into his toilet because there's a fucking hole in my bathroom.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that's right, man. That hole's gonna take forever to get replaced or to fix.
I mean, I just have to harass the landlord about it.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like it.
Should probably fix our bathroom fans too.
I just gonna start throwing bathroom garbage in that hole.
Yeah.
Just fill the hole.
Fill the hole.
Toilet's clogged. Hold on, you know.
That way, the next time our plumbing starts leaking, because apparently the plumbing in these places sucks.
Oh.
It's gonna come with some bathroom trash
Bathroom
spilling
trash.
out.
Yeah.
Why is there soaked toilet paper rolls
Yeah.
and Q-tips?
6,000 Q-tips. What the
It's
fuck
a
is
lot
this?
of Q-tips.
Hey, dude, I use a Q-tip a day.
Yeah, well, you know, keep the mirrors clean.
You use
Hell
a
yeah.
Q-tip a day?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
After my shower, I Q-tip my ears.
Oh well, I mean, I don't necessarily shower every day, so
Oh yeah, I shower every day. Sometimes twice.
Seems like a lot of showering.
it's too much.
Pulling
I'm
the
okay with it.
Colin.
Colin took one shower. He started when he was 12.
Yeah, it's the same
and
shower.
It's the same one. It's
Yeah,
still going.
the same
Yeah.
shower. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Whenever we see him out in the world, he's just like taking a break before he goes back to that
That's,
same shower.
Yep.
all it is he takes breaks.
You gotta let the hot
In a
water
shower.
come back, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's so hard to hang out with him. You gotta catch him in between hot water buildups.
Oh, man.
Shit. We love you, Collies, too.
Has he ever come down and done the podcast?
He's done it once,
got him here
and he's
once.
bitched out every other time.
Oh.
Yeah.
We have to get in contact with his secretary.
Yeah, and book him
schedule
3
about,
weeks ahead of time.
Yeah. There's a guest appearance fee that's
Yep.
involved, and
Mhm.
It's a whole thing.
it's just he's too cool for us now.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
he's the man. I mean,
Yeah, he is the man.
He is the man now. You're the man now, dog.
Mine must be drawn here.
No, father.
I'm so excited to see Picard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know this was coming.
Oh, well, what a delightful surprise for you. Then.
Haven't seen the trailer. Just people at work were like, "Did you
Hey,
watch the Picard
You seen
trailer?"
this shit yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "What?"
What? That's a thing.
The
Picard
Borg
trailer.
Dude, yeah.
The
They got
Borg are-
fucking 7 and 9 back,
and Hugh the Borg.
Wow.
and Mr. Data, fucking
Yeah.
So
Riker.
this takes place
Yeah.
after TNG.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah, dude.
That last TNG movie, the one with Shinzon,
Resurrection or
No, I
The
don't know.
last one.
It
I
had
don't-
Tom Hardy in it. He was Picard's clone. It's taking place like 10 or 20 years after that movie.
Oh shit.
I don't remember that movie.
It came out in, I think, like 2003.
Mm.
I thought the last TNG movie was the one where Data dies.
Yeah, that's the same one.
That is the same movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Data's going to be, or the guy playing Data is going to be playing one of Data's brothers.
Sure.
B4 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who was made first?
Yeah.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard of
It's
the
definitely-
USS
Enterprise.
Enterprise. Captain Jean-Luc Picard
of the
of USS Enterprise.
Definitely going to have the Borg in it, though.
7 of 9's in it.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
All right.
Whew.
Mm.
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 Very, very formative character.
Yep.
Down for some like 55-year-old Jerry Ryan.
Dude,
Yeah.
hey, man, I've aged too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I
Hell
have
yeah,
no idea.
brother.
She's 51.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Hey, good guess though.
Looks
Yeah.
I mean,
great.
look at her.
Well, you know,
Come on,
honestly,
An attractive woman, yeah.
honestly, if you're an actor or an actress and you're making good money, you're gonna look good for
You
the rest
stop
of your
aging.
life. Yeah,
Yeah,
you have
well,
to.
For a while anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
shorter.
everybody's like, "Wow, Tom Cruise doesn't look like his age a day." It's like, well, yeah, he probably spends lots and lots of money
It's
and
the
time.
Scientology, bro.
Well, of course. I
I
mean,
think it's
He's
just the boy
exercising
raping.
enough body thetans.
praise Xenu.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say it was?
The boy raping.
Oh, he absorbs the life force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Marlarks.
Yeah.
Like a
Marlar?
The
That's
Mark Lars.
Mark Lars.
Mark
Yeah,
Lars.
Mark Lars.
Mark Lar.
From South Park, you know.
Yeah,
okay.
he's just got access to that good tech.
That good,
Mhm.
good.
That gene replacement therapy.
Right.
Yeah.
The new you.
CRISPR. It's just a Swedish guy that massages him and all that jazz.
I'm not that excited about Picard, but
Picard's gonna be good. I'm also excited about the new Terminator movie coming out.
Are you?
I am.
Why?
So first off, James Cameron's taking it back over.
Okay.
And they're decanonizing the other Terminator movies.
that's the only
Yeah.
good thing
Yeah.
about it so far.
So it's going to take, it's setting up right after Judgment Day. And
Yeah.
so like for the first time in a while, I'm like, oh shit. Could be fun. It could
Just
be good.
from-
It could be,
From
you
what
know.
I've seen, it just looks like every other Terminator movie after Judgment, though. I mean, it really does.
And also-
it's super actiony. Lots of
What the hell happened to John
helicopters
Connor?
and shit.
I mean,
He's supposed to be in like the end of it or something like
Uh.
that. I don't know. I didn't want to watch too much on
Yeah.
on what's happening in it because I'm looking forward to watching it.
I love the Terminator.
Love it?
I like the whole package.
Mhm.
Love it.
I like the first two. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean those are the ones that matter. Those are the only ones that I'm talking about. But as far as like the lore goes and stuff like that, like I've looked deeper into it. I enjoy all of it, but I'm not looking forward to this movie, man.
Mm.
So I'm going to talk about why I'm not super excited about Picard real quick. And this is,
Okay.
I'm going to
Okay.
preface this by saying that I am not a Trekkie. This is only what I've heard through casual internet reading
Mhm.
about trepidations about the show. Alex Kurtzman is the executive producer. He is responsible for Star Trek Discovery
Yeah.
and the movie Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness. From what I have heard from a lot of Trekkies, those are not highlights in the Trek canon
Mhm.
arc,
Yeah.
especially Discovery.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't know.
I kind of
I
like Discovery.
kinda like Discovery.
There were problems with it, but it was decent. I mean,
I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah.
Never heard of it before.
No, Discovery is the one with Captain Hammer, right?
Captain Hammer.
Isn't he in that one? No. It's time travel guy. Am I wrong? Am I getting the wrong Star Treks?
The first the captain they had
Quantum
was
Leap.
from
That's Archer.
yeah, don't talk about that.
That's Captain Archer. That's
That's
he,
the real black hole in the
he almost killed the franchise.
yeah.
Which Star Trek was that?
That was
Enterprise.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that was fucking awful.
So which one's Discovery? Is Discovery the one that you had to have ABC's
Or
CBS.
CBS's. Yeah.
CBS's special
Yeah.
access? Okay. From what, and that's actually, that was what I'd heard, because the people I'd talked to said that I don't know. At the end of the day, like, you're comparing Star Trek, like, Star Trek's hit and miss. There's some episodes that are like really good.
I
They have
really
good
like
story arcs.
Discovery because they had a dark mirror
Yeah, I like. Yeah, whenever Star Trek delves into the Dark
story
Mirror
arc,
universe,
story arc.
That's what Discovery was.
They one season was about the Dark Mirror universe.
Okay.
And like characters going back and forth.
Interesting. That seems a little.
the Federation's essentially space Rome, and
The Terran Empire.
Yeah, the Terran Empire.
That name gives me positive goosebumps,
Yeah.
for very specific
Yeah.
reasons. But okay, well, I'll give it a go. I like Jean-Luc, so
And like I said, I enjoyed Discovery. It was a neat take, and I really like where they're going with it.
The only thing that I hated about Discovery was they had a character who murdered the chief medical officer for the ship. And within a couple episodes, it was like it was all water under the bridge that you murdered.
Yeah,
glossed
that
over.
was
Yeah.
like
it's a little weird.
yeah.
And
Someone dropped.
he
a
ends up being
plot
like
point.
recruited to be a fucking agent.
Well, I don't
for
wanna, like-
Section 31 or whatever the like dark ops for
So,
the Federation.
It winds up making a little more sense than what Justin's laying out, but if you're gonna watch it, I don't want to take too like.
I'm not gonna watch it. You don't need to talk about it either. It's
Okay,
fine.
but yeah.
I just when I look at Picard, it looks like they're just making a Star Trek fan service series.
Mhm.
They're bringing back beloved old characters, so
Yeah.
I'm
That's what I
very
worry about.
hesitant about
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll find out.
I would be more hesitant if I hadn't seen a few interviews with Patrick Stewart, who is genuinely excited
Yeah.
about doing the show and about revisiting the character
Mhm.
and
He's not a Starfleet officer anymore.
about
I know he's like retired,
and
on
about
already.
his input that he's got to bring to the character,
Yeah.
about how it's changed and whatnot. So that's what makes me excited about it.
We'll see.
is-
I will remain optimistic.
I will
Well, hey.
remain neutral on the subject.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like
that's how I have to be about anything anymore.
Russ
man.
remaining optimistic. That's I mean
I normally
that's-
am going to be pessimistic.
yeah. So I'll take that as a win. I'll take that as the win. That
Yeah.
it is.
Like I'm pretty pessimistic about Star Wars.
Yeah.
and I love Star Wars.
I love Star Wars.
Are we
So-
going to do opening night?
No, I'm not.
I
going
want to.
Did you? Yeah, Brian's buying us tickets. He's going to
Yeah.
get like 2 rows.
I didn't confirm or deny my interest in.
He's buying extras.
He's buying a fuck ton
okay.
of tickets so we can all sit together, and then whoever doesn't want to go, he'll return the tickets when we go.
Yeah,
I
there's
just-
Not a big
five.
deal.
There's 5 from us. It's me and Sharon,
Mm-hmm.
Josh and his girlfriend,
Mhm.
and Nick. And then Brian's got 5 from his friend circle, and he said he's probably gonna get like 16 seats.
Okay.
And he said like they're really easy about return, so he'll just pick them up.
Okay.
So
I don't know, man. Been kind of let down.
All right, so
Excuse
Star Wars is the mistress I will always come
Oh,
back to,
that
no
was
matter
really
how
good.
much she lets me down.
yep, how much
Who
abuse I take, I'll keep
Is
them
getting
away.
a Disney streaming service because I want to see The Mandalorian.
If I get one, I will share it.
Thank you.
I probably
I already
will.
got a line on mine.
Jesse and Brian.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm kind of curious to see what kind of limitations they have.
Right off the bat for it. Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to like Netflix screen limitations or
I mean, I don't see why they would break that model.
when's that
Yeah.
coming out?
The 12th of November.
So close.
Does Mandalorian like?
I
live-
believe it is a opening or a premiere drop or whatever the fuck the verbiage is on that. It's going to be there when it opens or when it rolls.
Yeah.
Okay. Be among the first to join.
But like I don't know. I've heard a little bit about about the new Star Wars. Palpatine's back, apparently.
Whoa, what? Are we talking about conjecture as far as the new
the
movie
new one
goes?
Yeah.
No,
No?
I don't want to.
You don't want to?
No.
Well, you're not going to fucking go see it on the opening night anyway.
I'm still going to see it.
I feel like your opinion counts for less.
It doesn't. I still love Star Wars. I just don't know if I want to fucking see it opening night. Dude, you know what crushes my hopes and dreams more than anything is hyping this shit the fuck up.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Disney Plus. Just real quick. 4 devices simultaneous streaming.
Whoa. Awesome.
Up to 10 devices. No, there's no limit on the number of devices that can be associated with your account. So,
Damn.
yeah,
Fuck yeah.
let's just hook it up.
Holy shit.
And how much does it cost?
It's like $7.
It's
If
like
you
one of the
can get
cheapest
the prize package, so Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN for like $10.99
Wow, that's a fucking good deal.
because Disney also owns Hulu.
Yeah.
Well, those are going to be the introductory prices until Netflix closes, and then it's going to
Yeah.
be jacked right the fuck up.
Until Netflix closes.
Yeah.
That's
What do you mean?
Disney's ultimate goal.
Yeah, that's why they're going to make it so accessible, inexpensive.
Blockbuster's revenge.
I would say that they're only doing $7 a month because they don't have the library diversity that somebody like Netflix has.
Are you
But
kidding me? They have Disney's
Well,
library. It might not.
Yeah.
very specific.
And Fox's
Nope.
library.
They have Disney and all of its subsidiaries, subsidiaries library as well.
Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, National Geographic. Think about everything else that Netflix has on it.
It's a lot of shit, but
A lot of it is shit, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, dude, the only thing Netflix really has going for it anymore is The Office and their stuff.
I mean,
How often are you watching
the
Netflix
Disney
now?
vault is deep,
I watch
sir.
Netflix every day.
Yeah?
Every day.
But,
Every day I watch something on Netflix.
yeah, pretty much.
From the Great British Baking Show.
God,
which
I
was
love
watching-
that fucking
which
shit.
I was
Oh
watching
my
today.
god. I missed the 2 comedians.
Hold on. But before you, because I don't watch the show, but did you know that it's got a different name in Over the Pond?
What do
Yeah.
they call it? Just the baking show?
Yeah.
They call it the Great British Bake Off.
Oh,
Oh.
But it's the Great British Baking Show here because Pillsbury owns the term
Bake Off?
Bake Off.
that's. I wish I could kill people with my mind.
You on also a fun note of Pillsbury. Do you know what the Doughboy's name is? No. It's Poppin' Fresh.
That's awesome.
Yes, I knew that it was buried somewhere.
Somewhere
in the back of
deep
my
in the recesses of your brain, and
Yes.
hearing it brought it forward. But yeah.
As
So
a
not
child,
Poppin' Fresh.
growing up, my brother's favorite thing to do to torment me was to poke my belly and say woohoo like the
Yeah.
Poppin' Fresh boy because he knew that I was self-conscious about being fat. And so whenever he'd be frustrated with me or wanted me to feel like shit and stuff, he'd fucking poke my belly and go woohoo. And I am like traumatized
Mm-hmm.
to this day from that shit.
So no, don't poke your belly and go boohoo.
I will straight punch a person.
It's a really weird thing to be sensitive
Like,
about. But
that
like, you
might
know,
be
childhood
entirely
trauma.
involuntary. Like I might
Childhood
just throw a
trauma.
punch.
It's a
Yeah.
weird thing, man.
PTSD, dude.
Thanks, Travis.
Well,
Dick.
on that slightly more flowery note than our previous subjects, you guys ready to kill it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
All
Let's
right.
kill it.
Well, thank you for
Thanks
listening.
you.
We love you. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Educate your mind. Don't let the brain cells die. Come on, it's balcony time.